All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you all. We are Follow That Food Truck. We're here to talk about our free mobile app that uses GPS to display the location of nearby food trucks. I don't know if you guys have had the pleasure of eating at a food truck. I hope you have, because they are delicious. I really highly recommend it if you haven't done it. Thing is, the last couple years there's been a boom here in the country of the food truck industry. So far as we know, there are an active 4,000 food trucks here in the United States. We assume that number is actually larger. We definitely expect that number to grow over the next couple of years. We can definitely tell you that it's grown here in Lexington. So, the one problem with food trucks, the biggest challenge about them, is what makes them so great. They are on wheels, so they're mobile, which means that from day to day, you are not going to know where they're going to be. So that's where we come in. The diners have trouble finding the trucks. For the trucks, it's hard for them to actually cook and do what they're best at, which is making food and finding the diners. That's where we come in. So the solution being, Follow That Food Truck. This is the app that connects diners and food trucks. Connects diners to food trucks to diners. You can see here, this is a screenshot of the actual app. If you have it, this is what you will see when you click it open. There's a logo forking the road here. You can see where they are. It's all going to be up to you. The trucks themselves actually have a place to put their info in to let you know their menu, specials, etc. So, of course, we thought this was a great idea when we first opened it up. The real question was, do the people care? So what we found when we opened this, we started the app in, September? Here's some feedback from some folks. These are from the diners. 3,000 diners have actually downloaded the app thus far. We average about 10 downloads a day right now in the cold weather months, hoping to pick up when it gets warm again. And 52 trucks are now using the app as well. So you can see they really love that. So the $1 million question is, and we do hope that one day it's $1 million question, is how are we going to make any money off this thing? It's something everybody wants to know. So we have two ideas for that. There's going to be a subscription service for the trucks themselves, which involves an upgrade. And for the diners version of the app, there are going to be ads within the app. So our plan right now, if you have the app, they're all free accounts. It's free accounts for both the diner and free accounts for the truck. Now for the trucks, what we want to do is start a $10 a month subscription. So basically with that premium account upgrade, you're going to get a couple bells and whistles, schedule on and off times to let you know when you're going to be operating, so you don't have to worry about that. You can just cook. Customizable in-app info, which means that if you want to say, hey, 20% off today, free ice cream, here's our menu, special items, whatnot, you can do that. You also get a custom truck logo, which allows you to actually do branding yourself through our app, so you can kind of market through our app. And then also you get direct notifications to the diners in real time being the big thing. And so a lot of people have tried ideas like this before. I'm going to let Josh tell you a little bit about some of the pitfalls they face.
So before we built this app, we did some research. We, of course, wanted to learn what was out there, what they're doing right, what they could be improved on. And we basically found three major issues in the existing food truck apps that were out there. One, they were too localized. Some were too localized, so they would be specifically only in one city, so they couldn't scale beyond the city that they were in. Two, they didn't establish industry relationships prior to launch, and therefore they weren't able to get buy-in once they did, in fact, launch. And three, that some were just poorly designed. I mean, they're just overcomplicated. This app needs to do one thing, and it needs to tell you where the food trucks are the instant you open it, and that's exactly what our app does. So we learned from those things and learned what we needed to do differently.
And one of the ways that we did things differently in this case was, the first thing we did was we started LexingtonFoodTrucks.com, which allowed us to establish a test market here in town to see if anybody cared. And so based on the evidence, we started this in July, 5,000 Facebook fans, 1,100 Twitter followers. We were able to form industry relationships with the food trucks themselves, and we've been able to do a lot of branding. Of course, some of the stuff you see here. So we've put a lot of work into this. We see a lot of potential in this product. We hope you guys see that potential as well, and we do hope that you will continue to follow that food truck. And we got some swag, guys. Like this cool t-shirt you see right here.
T-shirts with us. If anybody wants some, come afterwards. We've got different colors, different sizes. And
thank you for your time, Sue. Thank you, guys.
Judges?
Have you thought at all about, or maybe you already have this, how to track whether the people that are using the app are actually showing up at the food trucks and what your sort of conversion is like?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, a big part of that is actually utilizing the relationships that we have by talking to the truck owners and finding out, feedback that they get from the diners, which has been positive for one. Eventually, we'd like to implement services within the app that can allow us to track diners that use coupons, for example, at food trucks, and that way we'd be able to gather those analytics.
Have you generated any revenue yet?
So version 2.0 came out yesterday, and everything's good so far, I should say.
Yeah.
And version 2.0 has the in-app apps, or the in-app ads, I should say. It's hard for me to project exactly what that will do. We do not yet have the subscription model established. As of right now, any truck owner can sign up for free. That's down the road. That's the plan. So to answer your question, no revenue just yet, but lots planned.
We have